So we just got an announcement from Granblue Fest, one that was actually way bigger than what I was expecting. Instead of it just telling us the next DLC character, we got the next 3. Beatrix and Vane wasn't that big of a surprise. They both had a lot of screen time in the story motiverses, so I was somewhat expecting them. 2B on the other hand was completely out of nowhere. Granblue Fantasy's director Fukuhara had mentioned interest in having a guest character in interviews before, but I wasn't expecting it to come this quickly, or for it to be 2B. Granblue has collabed with many IPs in the past, but never the Nier Drakengard series. Honestly, it got me so excited I put a pause to the Nier video to do a quick briefing on the 3 before doing something a little more substantial when they release. Starting off with the last member of the Dragon Knight Quartet, we have Vane. I wouldn't quite call him a himbo, more like a teen mom if you ask me. He's big-bodied with a big heart. He's good with housework, cooking, and with kids. A very friendly individual who acts as the glue that keeps the group together. Also, he's childhood friends with Lancelot, so expect them to be close. Like very close. Gameplay wise, expect him to be a bruiser. He rocks a halberd and wants to get hit while striking back even harder. A trait he actually shares with Beatrix is that they both tend to get stronger as their health drops. I expect they'll be able to cook up something real fun for big body fans with him. Moving on to 2B, and after my initial shock, I realized just how well she fits into Granblue. It's honestly to the point where if she isn't involved in the story at all, I'm going to be really disappointed. I need to see her interact with the Society agents. You might be wondering how exactly does she fit into a fantasy setting? Well, the Society plotline is as sci-fi as they come. A big part of what Beatrix and friends do is dealing with machine life forms. In Granblue, they're called automagods. The automagods serve a race of moon dwellers, which is the main enemy of the Society organization. They are referred to simply as the foe, and if you know anything about Nier Automata, could be a major source of a conflict between the characters. Also, the weapons that the Society agents wield are actually still living automagods that have been repurposed. And lastly, we have Beatrix, often just referred to as Bea, and I hope you all are ready for her. She basically has every fighting game comeback mechanic rolled into one crazy package. She's often partnered up with Eustace, but unlike Zeta and Vasaraga, it's more of a mentor-mentee relationship. Eustace as the grizzled vet and Bea as the hotshot newbie. You wouldn't be able to tell right away from her goofy personality, but Beatrix actually carries a pretty big chip on her shoulder. She's from fallen nobility and joined up with the Society not just to make a name for herself, but to restore her family's name. This leads to her being a glory hound. Oftentimes she'll bite off way more than she can chew, putting herself in many rough situations. Sometimes, however, this is completely out of her control. When Bea is involved, things rarely go her way. Players like to call this Bea bullying. However, this isn't exactly a detriment for her. She shares a special bond with her weapon Embrask. Basically, it's ride or die for her. When she's in a pinch, it gets stronger, and the worse the situation is, the stronger she and it gets. So I'm both excited and cautious to see if and how they're able to represent this in verses without it being BS, since this is such a core part of the character and it really wouldn't be Bea without it. And in the mobile game, she's a glass cannon, which tends to be a problematic type of character in fighting games. That's it, so I'm going to go back to work on the Nier video, but I think these were some good picks. All 3 have something I'm looking forward to. Beatrix and Vane are mostly gameplay. I really want to see how they interpret these characters, as I think both have a potential to be very frustrating characters to go against. And while 2B being playable is cool, I am far more interested in her possibly having some story content with the game.